This video is about one of my greatest accomplishments. I'm being sarcastic. This video is about how I bought a house with a dead body in it. Stay tuned.
Yeah. Cindy says, Cindy says, work it out, work it out. Do you want work it out? Cindy says, finance looking, work it, hey, mind it. Yeah, Cindy says, work it out though, work it out. Nothing moves till you move, work it out. Finance looking right, work it out though. Mind and your body right, work it out though, work it out though, work it out. Nothing moves till you move, work it out. Finance looking right, work it out though. Mind and your body right, work it out though. Hard work, smart work, work it out though. If it takes a little time, work it out slow. Only way to level up, work it out more. Work it out more, don't stop, no. I've been on my own and on my job. Work for it and I work hard. Overtime and I'm gon' charge. Get it.
As I've said in previous videos, just buy something. Buy a piece of property, please. What's stopping you? What do you have to lose? Nothing. And that's been my attitude along this whole journey of investing in real estate. This video is about just buy something. There are many opportunities out there to purchase property, traditional methods and some not traditional methods. I would consider the not traditional methods the one where people talk about riding around town and looking for distressed properties. I would consider that to be non-traditional. I just don't have the patience, I think, to ride around town and look for distressed properties. I've done it. It has worked for me one time, but that's something I don't think I can do all the time. You can also check Zillow. Zillow has for sale by owners, and sometimes they even have distressed properties. That's another way. Another way is establish relationships with real estate agents. You know, a friend that's a real estate agent, they get all the information, or they can check the MLS for you. Or become a real estate agent yourself, just so you can have the inside scoop. The way I bought a property with a dead body in it is I went to, I think it was called auctionhouse.com, and they had properties at the time in Detroit, and I was in Detroit, and it was on a different side of town. It wasn't the worst, it wasn't the best, and it was half of a duplex, because even though they're attached, we know they're individually owned. And I thought I had a great deal. One of the lessons learned is if it's time, because sometimes it's not time, you take the time or get the time or find the time to go and look at the property. Even if I had taken the time to go look at the property, I didn't have access to it. So the results would have still been the results. My regret to this day is I probably should have kept the property. The person I am now, the chalk line in the blood probably wouldn't bother me as much. I was different then. I only paid a measly $750 for the property. So I obtained the property, bought it online, go over it to visit it, to see it. Walked in, dried blood and a chalk line. I was like, oh my God, no. I just could not imagine owning a property where someone was shot and killed, because I talked to the neighbor, and it was a middle-aged gentleman, and she didn't know the logistics. They just know he got shot, and they found the body. He had died, and the blood had been there 9 months. At the time, I'm just like, ooh, that's bad juju, that's bad spirits. I regret to this day that property, because that property now is worth at least $70,000, and it is just, it was like a townhouse basement, main level, 3 bedrooms in a semi-commercial but residential area, very busy. You know, it was a little hoodish, but it was, you know, worth $750, and I just could not get past it. And I ride by there, you know, from time to time. I've gone by there from time to time, and it still, you know, looks the same. I'm sure the owners, you know, very happy. I could have made a lot of money off of that. So you buying properties off auction house or auctionhouses.com. You know, I would say be careful, be open. Like I said, I'm sure I lost $70,000 by not keeping the property. It was a decently maintained property. It didn't have any exterior work that needed to be done. Maybe some minor repairs on the inside that may would have cost me about $10,000, but that was 15 years ago. I could have made that 20 times over. So that is the property where the dead body was. And I regret not keeping that property. So that's one way to get a property, auctionhouses.com. Auctions in general are good places to purchase property. You can go through the whole auction process and pay the bid fees, and you know, go through the bidding process. You bid and then the next person bid, and you just kind of, when the bidding closes, whoever bids the highest, of course, get the property. Again, I'm not like a super patient person, and if you're not a super patient person, they have another option that's called auction pay now. Whatever the price is, you pay that and you own the house. That is a big deal in the Detroit area where it was. And you could see a property, or they could list a property by now $8,500. Sometimes it was $500, and you could actually own a whole house. That still exists. There are also things called the land bank. Those are houses that are owned by the city or the county in which the houses are. Those houses, you know, usually require a lot of work. Maybe, you know, you can probably get some good lemons, but they don't cost a lot. $500, $1,500, $7,000. If you're willing to put in the work, and you should, and if you have the time, make it. Those are good places to go buy distressed properties. Remember, even if there are taxes on the houses, those are forgiven, and then in some instances you're paying only the back taxes. I think if you have the time and you really want to get into this real estate business, you're not really spending a lot, so you're not risking a lot. I think it's worth getting into. What you would have to do is just secure the property. Once you receive it, secure it. You know, put the alarm system, you know, put ring on it, put the bars, put the security. They have security metal things that go across the windows now. Get those. Secure the property. It's worth it. You're paying less than $5,000 to own a whole house. It's no way you can lose $5,000 or sometimes even $500. You get it and you hold. Especially if you're under the age of 50. You get it now and you hold. It's a guaranteed win. I'm not going to lie to you. It may be some headaches along the way, but it's an investment. You hold on it. You get income from it. You keep it. Remember, you don't have a mortgage on it. You keep it 5-10 years and you sell it. You've made money as a landlord, and then you make money when you sell it as a whole. $50,000, $100,000, $300,000. You have the time. You want to get into this business. I say the time is now. Get into it now. Just do it. Another good source for distressed properties is two types of attorneys. Probate attorneys and bankruptcy attorneys. Why do I say that? Bankruptcy attorneys / also trustees. Some people surrender their property without mortgages to the bankruptcy court, or the bankruptcy court take the property because it's an asset that they plan to have and sell to pay off the creditors of the debtor. So having a relationship with a trustee or having a relationship with a bankruptcy attorney are good sources to get distressed properties or properties for cheap on the low. Definitely the bankruptcy attorney has the inside track. They're definitely worth building a relationship with, because they know the intentions of the debtor before the trustee even knows. And you may be able to purchase it from the debtor at a cheaper price than you will more than likely get from the trustee. Then the probate, oh, that is like a honeycomb, because people leave property with no family, or they have property, too many properties, and something happened to them and they're not able to maintain all of them. So they become property of the probate estate, property of the probate court, and they sell those for cheap as well, just so they can obtain the monies and use the monies for the benefit of the person that is no longer able to maintain themselves. So they're not trying to make a huge profit. They're just trying to make some money. Those two particular type of legal attorneys gold mine for property. I know firsthand, on both sides, gold mine for property. Do it. Establish those relationships, shoot them an email, send them a gift basket, take them a lunch, go by their office, establish a relationship with those two types of lawyers, or those two courts, bankruptcy court, probate court, and obtain you some properties at a low price before they even hit Zillow. Right now, 2022, the 4 best places to buy distressed properties, and it could be just because there's so much land, or it could be the properties are just have not been kept up. Detroit, I know, was number 1 for a very long time. We're not number 1, 2, or 3 anymore. Right now, number 1 is Nashville, Tennessee. Right now, that's the best place to buy properties, and they may or may not be distressed, but they're easily, the value of them are going up fast. So it may or may not be any $500 or $5,000 houses, but it could be some $20,000 houses. You put a little TLC into it and sell it for $100,000. Nashville, Tennessee is number 1 on that list. Number 2 is Boston, the Cambridge area. That is a good place right now to buy and invest in property. Number 3 is San Diego. I couldn't believe anything in California would be on that list, but for some reason San Diego is on there. Number 3, San Diego is a great place to buy and invest in properties. The properties in San Diego is not as expensive as LA for obvious reasons. So you can buy the property without a mortgage, but you would still have some equity in it in a short period of time because the values are going up, but not as fast as LA. Charlotte, North Carolina, number 4, last on the list. Best place to buy property. Best place to invest. Charlotte, North Carolina, one of those cities is probably good to get like a multi-family unit or units where you can have multiple tenants. It's a well-maintained city, no indication of it going backwards. Charlotte, North Carolina is definitely a good place to buy and invest properties. If you like this video, subscribe, like, comment, share with a friend. We all want to be wealthy. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, share and comment. Cindy says.